I'm worried about Wenqi. He was really mad that Midas has his father's wand. It took all my powers of persuasion to convince him not to go chasing after Midas right then and there. In the end, I had to promise I'd tell Harry Potter about what we'd learned about Midas, since we have the earlier defense against the dark arts class.
If I were in his shoes, I'd probably be upset too. Wait a moment. What's going on? Where are the training dummies?
And not that I'm complaining, but why is the room filled with games and joke items?
We thought we'd try something a little different today.
But why? With the Dementor attacks ramping up, isn't it more important than ever that we master our Patronuses?
You'll see. Now go and have fun. Well, did you all have fun?
Surprisingly, yes. To be honest, I initially thought this was going to be a waste of time, but it's actually helped me loosen up a little.
Which is a problem, because it's critical that you be able to go to your happy place in order to cast a Patronus, even in the darkest of times. We hope this class was good practice for turning out any fear and pressure you may feel. Piece that together, did you? If you're fishing for information, I'm afraid I can't share any details about an active investigation.
Actually, we have information for you. We have reason to believe that Midas Golvig, a dodgy businessman based out of Hogsmeade, is connected to the Dementor attacks.
That's quite an accusation. Do you have any proof?
When the Dementor attacked Honeydukes and everyone was in a panic, he seemed pleased. He even smiled when it was after Wenqi, as if he'd ordered the attack himself. What's more, despite being in a shop full of potential victims, the Dementor specifically went after Wenqi. That's twice now Wenqi has been attacked by this Dementor. Curious, given the fact that Midas is currently trying to take over Wenqi's family business, don't you think? Wenqi's father's wand. I saw it in Midas's briefcase. It was a beloved family heirloom, so he'd never willingly part with it. Wenqi believes Midas stole it.
I see. And do you have this wand on you?
Well, no, but if you look in his briefcase, I'm sure you'll find it.
That does seem like a lead, but unfortunately, we can't just search someone's briefcase without solid evidence.
Even as an aura?
Especially as an aura. Thank you for the tip. I can't promise anything, but I'll see what I can do.
Did you tell Harry about Midas?
Yes, I pulled him aside after class.
Let me guess. He gave you a polite but ultimately non-committal brush-off in response.
Always so cynical, Wenchi. Harry Potter isn't one to brush off leads, especially not solid ones. All we need right now is tangible proof that our lead is solid.
Then the solution's obvious, isn't it? We just need to find some.
You make it sound so easy. Let's not forget that if our theory is correct, this man is in league with the Dementor.
Still, Ivy might be onto something. We already know Midas keeps Wenchi's father's wand in his briefcase. And considering how negatively Midas reacted when I tried to help him gather the wand and the briefcase's other spilled contents, it's safe to assume he's probably got other things he doesn't want anyone seeing in there too. If we can keep Midas distracted, we might be able to grab the briefcase, collect the evidence we need, and get out of there while he's still none the wiser.
Midas Gulveig may have more money than he knows what to do with, but he's still cheap. If I invite him for a free drink at the Hogshead under the guise of asking for an extension, he'll come. He also loves the sound of his own voice, so it shouldn't be too hard to keep him talking while you grab the case.
Sounds like a plan. Midas isn't going to know what hit him. Well, that was anticlimactic. I was expecting the briefcase to be full of cursed artifacts. A copy of Magic Most Evil, maybe even a bottle of poison. You know, dark wizard stuff.
Doesn't exactly scream I'm in league with a Dementor, does it? But there could still be something in here that incriminates Midas. Let's take a closer look.
The language in these contracts is so dense. It's no wonder Wenchi's father got suckered into taking out a bad loan. And according to these records, Scrivenshaft's isn't the only shop in Hogsmeade that Midas is preying on. J. Pippin's Potions, Dominic Maestro's music shop, even Honeyduke's. He's got all these notes on their financials. Personal information about their owners, too.
It's creepy and predatory, no doubt. But illegal or criminal? I'm not sure.
Look at this quill. It's genuine phoenix feather. This must have cost a small fortune.
When she did say Midas has expensive tastes and likes to flaunt his wealth. Well, this is interesting. I wonder what it unlocks.
Wait a moment. Where's Wenchi's father's wand?
Midas must have gotten spooked after a run-in and stashed it somewhere else.
Great, so we did all of this for nothing.
Not necessarily. We may not have uncovered any hard evidence, but we did find a key. Perhaps Midas is using it to lock away something incriminating.
Even if that's true, and I do mean if, how are we supposed to figure out what the key goes to? We can't very well go around trying every lock we see.
if we don't hurry, it may very well leave us behind.
Come on, let's return the briefcase, signal to Wenshi to keep stalling, and follow it.
What the hell, Wenshi?
Ivy, are you alright?
I'm pretty banged up, but I'll be alright. Honestly, I'm more worried about Wenshi. He's...
Flipendo! I don't know what's gotten into you, Wenshi, but if you expected me to not fight back, you're sorely mistaken.
Hold your fire. I recognize that look in his eye. Wenshi's been imperious. Someone's controlling him.
I don't know what's wrong, or if someone's making you do this, Wenshi, but I'm not going to fight you.
It's no use. I don't know what's gotten into him either, but we can't just stand here and take it. We have to fight back.
Just give me a moment, Daniel. One's all I need. Please, Wenshi. We're your friends. We don't want to hurt you. Whatever's going on, we can help. Just talk to us.
That's the Imperious curse. I'd recognize that look in his eye anywhere. Someone's controlling Wenshi.
What's gotten into you?
Watch out!
I agree. Wenshi isn't acting like himself at all.
Something's definitely wrong with him. Glazed over eyes, unnatural behavior. Wenshi's been imperious. Midas.
I've got to admit, figuring out I'd Imperious the Scriven-Chef boy like that? You kids are smarter than you look. A shame you weren't smart enough to keep your noses out of my business. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Not unless you want Wenshi here to hurt himself. Or you. I see you found the last person who wasn't smart enough to mind their own business. Guess it's true what they say. Like father, like son.
You mean the man in the trunk is...
Ivy, go and get Harry. Daniel and I will make sure Midas doesn't go anywhere. It's over, Midas. Give it up.
You're right. It is over. For you.
The Dementor!
Don't worry, it won't attack you. Not until I order it to, anyway.
It listens to you? I don't believe it.
And yet, the proof is right in front of you. See, the Dementor recognizes in me a kindred spirit. We were both born lacking and take what we need to fill the void. When I asked it to help me expand my business, it was happy to oblige. It's a win-win situation, really. My cloaked friend gets to feast on all sorts of emotions in this quaint little village. While I get what I want. Revenge. Who do you think will take over all the shops, legally mind you, when Hogsmeade becomes a ghost town? Naturally, I'm more than happy to deal with any insubordination, shall we say. The Imperious Curse is just one tool in my arsenal.
You're utterly vile.
Now that's uncalled for. Do mind your language when discussing my business acumen.
So you Imperious him, locked him away in a trunk, and made his family think he'd run out on them?
I know it sounds awful, but it was nothing personal. After all, success requires sacrifice.
Why are you telling us all this? You have to know you're only incriminating yourself.
Why indeed? Perhaps I simply haven't conversed with anyone in a while. Lie, coerce, intimidate. Sure, but actually talking to someone is another matter.
You're not fooling us with those platitudes.
To each their own, I suppose. It's a pity you won't witness my takeover of Hogwarts once I've claimed all of Hogsmeade.
Swelling fire crab! Look at them! Floating at once! Let go with Anatolian Opalon! Essence of Dissonance! Death Eater! Anatolian Opalon! Essence of Dissonance! Death Eater!
Imperial!
I doubt everything's perfect for you at Hogwarts. Misunderstood. Distrusted. The Scrivenshaft boy was as annoying as his father. Why struggle when life is stomping all over you? I certainly didn't. Not until I met my associates. But then again, not everyone is capable of walking amongst the Dementors. Azkaban is where he's headed. Once a thief, always a thief. That, and his family business now belongs to yours truly. Enough about him. This is my moment. Hogsmeade, a place that once looked down on me, will soon be mine. As soon as I take care of you lot.
I did it! I cast a corporeal Patronus!
See? I told you that you could do it.
Mr. Potter, thank goodness you're here. It's Midas Golvig. He's...
I know. Miss Warrington filled me in.
Thank you, Mr. Potter. I wouldn't have managed it if the Dementor hadn't turned on Midas at the last minute. Strange, now that I think of it.
It would seem that Mr. Gulvig misunderstood Dementors. I suspect that these evil creatures might sometimes overlook victims numbed by immense pain, like Gulvig himself.
I see. When my Patronus faded, Midas believed victory was within reach. He must have felt something then. Something powerful.
And that's what led the Dementor to him.
What we have is speculation at best. For now, let's get you kids back to Hogwarts. Professor McGonagall must be worried sick.
Wenshi, you're back! You've been out nearly a week. We were starting to worry McGonagall had expelled you for stealing that sword.
I thought the same when I turned myself in. Guess the sub-story must have worked since she only gave me 2 months of detention. Indeed. Scrubbing the entrance hall floors with a muggle toothbrush feels like cruel and unusual punishment.
So, how's your father?
He woke up the other day. That's why I was out. I was visiting him in St. Mungo's. He's still in rough shape, but the healers expect him to make a full recovery.
That's great news, Wenshi.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of effort and hard work. Not two of my favorite things, I must admit, but for the first time in a while, I'm actually hopeful about the future of our family and Scrivenshafts. Of course, don't think I've forgotten who helped make that possible. Thank you. I'm in your debt. Which, as you might expect, isn't a state I like to be in, so... I've thought of something you might enjoy.
Is it a lifetime discount at Scrivenshafts?
Well, my dad's still running the family business now that he's back, but I'll likely take over once I graduate. Meanwhile, I hope you'll enjoy being characters in my latest story.
That's great! Have you started writing again?
Sort of. Our adventure was really inspiring. Midas too. He'll make a fascinating antagonist in my story.
That sounds wonderful. Should we be looking for a copy at Flourish and Blots anytime soon?
The ink's still drying on my manuscript, and it'll take some time to revise. But keep your eyes peeled.